How many of you did use that feedback actually on the 10 cards for giving your insights? Yesterday, I did get something like 30 insights, by the way. Please, like if you look at the 10th card, like just speak your mind. There is a QR code. If you just actually talk about the conference, what did you like, what can be done differently, I think those will be the insights that will really help us to take it to the next level. So I take care of the global markets for VoiceBox. That's the company that I represent. I'm based in Bangalore. What is VoiceBox? So before that, actually, the founder of the company is Karan Gupta. So it's a Bay Area headquartered company, San Francisco. And he has been a serial entrepreneur, pre-IPO to IPO and exits. That's what he has been doing for a long, long time, but studied in India and then relocated to US. The app gets developed here in India. Many of the user interfaces happen in US. It's sort of a 50-50 arrangement that we do have between the two sides. The company is funded by actually some of the, I think, very interesting names. How many of you have seen Shark Tank US? So Mark Cuban is someone that you would have heard about. So he's one of the investors, and this is what he says about the product. The key here is that, we all want to hear the customer voice. We also want to really know our customer. In fact, how many of you do think that you know the customer? You know your customer, rather. How many of you do think that you know your customer? So Forrester did a survey, right, very extensive survey about this question, right? How many of us did really think that we knew our customer? And overwhelming 80% of the people said that, yes, we do know our customer, right? But then they asked the question the other way around. They went to the customer and asked, do you think that he knows you well, right? The other way, right? Only 38% of the people said yes. So you have this approximately 50% gap, and that's called as the empathy gap. So those of you who are into the customer experience field, you will understand that empathy gap. How do we bridge that gap becomes very, very important for us to become successful, right? And that is what we try to really bridge over here, right? And bridging the empathy gap becomes even more important in the current changing environment that we are all in, where our customers are global, we are sitting here, and the environment is changing pretty much every day in the morning when you look at the Twitter. So that's where you need to really be staying close to your customers and understand that part, right? So, but what do we do typically, right? We like to really do surveys and then take feedback. But the challenge with the surveys is that how many of you do really fill in the surveys? And surveys typically answer the what behind the problem, typically. It doesn't tell you why, right? And why is the most important insight. And for why, what do? We talk to customers, we try to engage with them, but that is actually now becoming very difficult, right? Then you have the focus groups, right? These are called as the qualitative way of actually doing the research. So when you do focus groups, you do get actually some insights. The challenge with focus groups is that it tends to become moderated. So you like to say what the other party likes to hear, right? It's not your in-the-moment feedback. And what's most important is in-the-moment feedback, because that's what really drives your decisions, right? Your opinion now about this conference is more important than what you feel 2 days down the line, because now the memories are fresh, you know what exactly is happening, you know what is the value you are deriving from this, and that's the reason why we want that in-the-moment feedback. So VoiceBox is basically a first-party data channel. So let's say, right, you are a franchisee of Burger King actually in Bangalore. There is a franchisor called Jubilant Foodworks, right? And then you do have actually the so-called BK, which is the mother company. Now look at how do you establish consistency in terms of the experiences, the food, the quality across all these franchisees. It's not an easy job, right? But if you are a Jubilant Foodworks or if you are a BK, you would like to really hear the feedback first party from your customer, from the person who's consuming, to really know whether those consistencies are being met or not, right? So that is the whole thing about VoiceBox. So can we play the video, please, before I go into this slide? So then I'll just jump into the video, to this slide. Can we play the video? With audio.
They all want to know what their millions of businesses worldwide serve consumers every day, in stores, online, and everywhere in between. They all want to know what their customers really need, but how? We get bombarded with surveys every single day, but let's face it, people are tired of them. For customers, they're tedious and easy to ignore. For businesses, they're costly, time-consuming, and make decisions feel like guesswork. Introducing VoiceBox. VoiceBox lets customers speak freely into their phone in their own voice at any moment in their journey. No apps, no forms, no typing. Get 10 times more responses packed with emotion in seconds. Every message is securely captured, processed, and analyzed. It's lightning fast, turning authentic feedback into insights you can use right now. This builds a living map of consumer sentiment, capturing what people are saying, where they're saying it, and how businesses can respond. VoiceBox turns scattered feedback into structured, real-time intelligence across journeys, regions, and industries. Track trends, spot issues, uncover real-time opportunities, and work side by side with AI. Forget about weeks of analysis. Respond instantly, recover loyalty, and prevent churn before it starts. Whether it's a slow checkout, a rude interaction, or a broken kiosk. Handle problems before they turn into regrettable reviews. VoiceBox goes beyond insights. It allows you to build custom workflows that fit your business. Auto-send coupons to unhappy guests. Alert store managers when complaints spike. Route feedback to WhatsApp, Slack, Salesforce, or HubSpot. Wherever your team works, VoiceBox keeps you moving. Customers are talking. Are you ready to act? VoiceBox. Turn customer voice into revenue.
That pretty much explains it, and I have approximately 1 minute to really complete. So what I'll do is that I'll quickly go through the slides. It's pretty easy, right? So basically, you can actually integrate the VoiceBox QR code into any experience, right? It can be a website, it can be your app, it can be your retail shelf, it can be actually a conference like this, anywhere, right? And those, or it can be actually the experience in our lunch area, which can be different from here, all these things can be done. The thing is super easy. You can scan the QR code and you will know that the VoiceBox appears. You just actually speak your mind and you're done, right? It gets captured. The insights are all instant, and that's how you see it, right? Including the heat maps where the customers are speaking, right? Let's say we are having a webinar, multiple locations. You will see the heat maps as to where customers are feeling how. And the AI-driven automation is something that we already talked about. The entire app and the experience is completely SOC 2 compliant. It's military grade in terms of security. It can be deployed in private cloud within your organization. And none of the analytics actually go into Google Analytics or anything of that nature, right? So that's the beauty of this app. And like everyone is actually participating in it, and that is what actually we have. The last one is nothing but a testimonial from Starbucks regarding how they believe that this can be really deployed across. So you should be seeing that sometime soon. So this is the presentation from my side. Please speak up and then give your insights. We are very keen to really get those insights, and if time permits later, we will show those insights.